So last year, I had the privilege of traveling a lot and ministering in different places in the world. And as I moved from place to place, a phrase kept ringing in my heart, and it was this: we don't know how good we have it. For a whole year, it kept echoing inside of me, and I started to see a much bigger picture of what God has done in us as a church. I could see that the DNA of Northwest is something special that isn't in every church and community. I was teaching other churches what you do as a team, the brilliant and the creative ways that you reach the next generation to tell them about Jesus, the ways you make disciples and help them to find their calling in God. Even one of the largest churches in Europe were blown away at how we celebrate our kids running out of the church to go to their own service, that the kids are not just an afterthought, but one of our highest thoughts. That church wrote to me 6 months later and told me all the changes they had made in their kids' ministry. Wow, look what you are doing. And you don't even know that you're doing it, how you're affecting other churches around the world. And as I was experiencing this clarity, I could see that the only two things we should be about is this: making disciples and planting churches. Making disciples and planting churches. And that's when it really hit me. I think our vision is too small. Now, this might be the moment you're thinking, uh-oh, but hear me out. 5 years ago, we decided to go big and build a new campus in Apopka. Well, we not only need to get that new campus done, but we need to start planting churches now. And I believe we're being called to plant a new church every 2 years. Now, you might be thinking, like I did, how are we going to do that? Well, the simple answer is, I don't know all the details. But what I do know is this: we need to say yes and make room for God to make this happen. There's one last thing that I started to see last year, and it's what I call the overflow of God. In Ezekiel chapter 47, it talks about a river that flows out of the house of God, and as it flows, it gets bigger and deeper and wider and bringing life wherever it goes. Bountiful fish and eternal fruit trees are springing up to create healthy communities. And I believe that this is a picture of what God is doing at Northwest Church. We're already living in this overflow, and I believe that He wants what He has given us to flow out of us and bring life to other people and other communities. And it all starts with the house of God. So I want to get this Apopka campus built to be our new hub for training and sending people out, to take the DNA of what God has given us to other places. I want this to be one of the many churches that we build. I want this to be a church known for giving away what we have. I want this to be a church of overflow. So what's it going to take? Well, to make this season of the overflow happen, I'm inviting you to take 2 steps. Firstly, if you consider Northwest your home church, we want you to participate in this. We need every single person to say, yes, we're going to be generous to get this building done. But secondly, I'm inviting you to take a bigger step of faith and make this the biggest act of generosity that we've ever done as a church. We've done it before, and I believe that we can do it again. So for the next month, we're going to be talking about this overflow and what God wants us to do in us and through us. And I would ask that everyone attend for the whole month of April. And I really believe that this is the time for us to respond to this bigger vision, because it's not about our church building anymore. It's about building something that is going to make many disciples and plant many churches. So I want you to ask yourself this question: what would it take for me to overflow to a next level in my life and in generosity? I'm inviting you to ask God what impossible things He wants to do through you. Whether you've been here a long time or a short time, whether you've had a lot to give or very little to give, I want you to ask Him, Father, what do you want to overflow through me? Can you see the bigger vision? Can you see what God has given us? Are you ready to live in that overflow of God? Come on, folks, let's do this.